So today we're looking at the Pueblo Pottery of New Mexico kit. This is produced by the Education Division at the Museum of Texas Tech University. Inside the kit is this booklet that just tells you a little bit about the gallery and the collection in the Davies Gallery of American Indian Art from the Southwest. The gallery contains pottery, textiles, folk art, but this particular kit focuses just on the Pueblo pottery. So inside the kit, what you will get is a couple of activities. One is a map activity that helps you learn the names and the location of the Pueblos. A second activity lets you learn about colors and styles and shapes on various Pueblo pots. You'll get to color these pages. You'll also get a paper pot from one of 4 different Pueblos, and I'll also show you how to make a coil pot from out of Model Magic, which is not the real clay, but it's clay that's good enough for our purposes just to learn how to make a coil pot. So the first activity in your kit, you should have a set of stickers, just one little square sheet of stickers like this, and they will be different colors. There's no set color. There's a paper map that says Native Nation Lands in New Mexico, and on top of it is stapled a smaller sheet that lists the 19 Pueblos that shows you approximately where they are in New Mexico. And the larger map is the one we're going to put the stickers on. We're going to find the Pueblo on the paper map and then put the sticker in that location on the larger map. On the back of the larger map, it's printed on cardstock, and it tells you the directions and how to do the activity. You'll also need just a pencil or a pen, something to write with, because we're going to number each of the stickers wherever we place a sticker to represent a different Pueblo. There are 19 Pueblos that we will identify. And so once we have the stickers on, then we'll go back and number them. And at the bottom of the page, there's a key where you can actually write in number 1 equals Zuni Pueblo, for example. Number 2 equals Acoma Pueblo, and so on. So you'll have 19 Pueblos listed in the key. So we'll just do one together. Taos is located here at the top of the map. The location of the Pueblos and the names are listed on this small piece of paper in the order that they are found on the map. So Taos is at the very top, and here's Taos. So I'm going to say on this map, I'm going to put a sticker where it actually says Taos. And I could write in number 1 for Taos, and down here on the key I would write Taos number 1. We'll do Zuni, that's an easy one. Over here, oops, sorry, there's Zuni, and I could put number 2. So when you finish this activity using the paper map and the cardstock map, you'll end up with 19 stickers numbered 1 through 19, and then your key for that will be at the very bottom. The second activity is the coloring sheets for the Zia, Laguna, and Zuni pottery, and these are drawn from the actual pots in the collection, and you can see at the bottom of each coloring sheet there's a photo of the actual pot in the gallery. So when you finish coloring your coloring sheets, you can bring them and match them to the actual pot in the gallery. In your kit, there's a bag of Prismacolor colored pencils, an eraser, and a sharpener. And you can use these colored pencils to color the pots according to the photographs that are on the card. And when you're finished, you'll have something that looks like this. So the colors that were chosen in the colored pencils were specifically chosen to match the colors of the pots, so that you can learn a little bit more about the clay colors and slip colors of how Pueblo pottery is made. Another activity is the paper pot. These paper pots are made in 4 different styles, and these were accurately created by a woman who lives in Washington. She visited with different pueblos. She wanted to design a paper pot that was representative of the style of that pueblo, and she visited with the elders of these communities, and she developed these 4 different pots. This particular one is from Acoma, and these are all paper. We punch them out and fold them up and end up with a 3D version of the pot. And you do exactly like this, just punch the paper out. They're already perforated pretty well, and so there's not really a chance it's going to tear. But if it does, you just use some glue and you can patch up what you might tear on your pot. But these are made really well. They're printed on cardstock, so it's not just paper. And also in your kit, you don't need to use glue. We've given you something called glue dots, and I'll show you what those look like. This is a picture of what the pot looks like when it's all folded up. When you've punched it out, it's going to look like this, like an arc with a little knob at the bottom. And you can turn it over and see where it is you fold on the paper punch out to start constructing your pot. So you should go ahead and fold all of the folds, top and bottom. So there's a very small one here on the bottom, then there's the side, and then here's the top. There's also a flap on the top part of the pot, and if you'll slightly bend that as well, you can get all of your pieces folded. Folding it is the second step after you punch it out. The third step is putting all of the glue dots together. So if you'll notice on the bottom flap here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides, 8 that's attached to this flap. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tabs. And we're going to put a glue dot on all of these sides. And when we fold it up, then the tabs will fit on the bottom piece. So glue dots are exactly that, just a dot of glue. It's probably hard to see on this. They're just clear on clear plastic, clear dots on clear plastic. You place the glue dot where you want it, scrape over the back of the piece of plastic that covers the glue dot, and then you peel back the plastic that covers the glue dot, and your glue dot will stay in place. Then, when you're making your pot, you want to make sure you start with the bottom. So we've put glue dots all around the very bottom of the pot. And now we're ready to start folding and attaching the flaps to make the pot. And you just go all the way around. And then you do the same thing for the inside flaps and the top flaps. Put a glue dot down at the top, press it, go all the way around, and when you're finished, you end up with the finished pot when it's all folded up. So this finished pot is made the same way as this one is. It's just been folded and attached with glue dots. The final activity is how to make a coil pot. And here's an example of a coil pot. The coil method of making a pot means that we're going to make coils. And it's one of the oldest ways to make pottery. And this was done not just by Pueblo people, but by people all around the world. It's a very easy way to make a container. Pueblo pottery, though, is made from digging dirt from the earth and processing it in such a way that it will be fired and hardened. For this project, we're using Model Magic, and after you've made your pot, if you'll let it dry for 24 hours, then it will be dried and firm the next day. You could paint on it with acrylic paint, but not watercolor or tempera. Water would dissolve Model Magic after a while, so just make sure you use acrylic paint or markers. If you had Sharpies or some other kind of non-water-based colored marker, you could color on it. And it'll be firm. You could still break it, so you want to handle it carefully after it's dried. But Model Magic is very lightweight, and it will dry, not rock hard, but hard enough where if you wanted to use this to hold something like paper clips or buttons or bubble gum or something, it would serve the purpose. So to make this pot, there are 2 packages of Model Magic in your kit. The first one, if you'll open it, well, maybe, there. You want to split it in half, put one piece aside, and the other half you're going to roll into a ball. And then mash it out. Just make it a circle. This is going to be the base or the bottom of your pot. And we're going to build on this to make the sides of the pot. With the other half of the first package, split it in half and roll it around, make a ball. And then squeeze it in your hands, roll your hands back and forth. Or you can do this on the table. And make a long snake shape or a coil shape. And you're ready to start adding it to the pot. You're just going to go around in a circle, just following the outline of the pot. Don't go around the outside, go right on top of the base. Then take the next piece of clay and roll it out. If you make thicker coils, it'll be a shorter pot. If you make thin coils, it will be a taller pot. And And just gently start stacking the coils on top of each other. When you open the second package, break it in half, then break each half in half, and then do the same thing. Roll it up, and then start making your coils. And you can overlap where your last coil ended, kind of pinch them together. And keep doing that until you've used up all your clay, and when you're finished, you'll end up with a coil pot. The kit also includes directions and information about how to make the coil pot, the different activities that are inside the kit, but you can do them in any order. You don't have to follow the order that's listed on the paper. And this book, again, will tell you more about the Davies Gallery of Southwest Indian Art at the Museum of Texas Tech. And we hope you'll come back and bring your pot and your coil pot and your colored pages and show us what you made. And then we encourage you, whenever you see a drawing in the booklet, bring this booklet back with you when you can come to the museum again and see if you can find the real piece that the drawings were made after. And that'll be another sort of seek and find game for the Pueblo kit. So that's it for the Pueblo Pottery kit at the Museum of Texas Tech University.